Hi, my name is Abigail, and ever since I was a little girl, I have loved to treasure hunt. There is nothing better than spending the day going to garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores. It's so exciting when you find something old and beautiful with a past and a history. I spent a ton of years in corporate America, but I have given all of that up to do what I love to do best, and that is go junking. So join me each week as I go over each and every treasure that I find and share a little bit of history and research on the items. So let's go, let's learn something new together, and let's have some fun.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I had a really good week this week. I found a lot of really eclectic items and I'm so excited to share them with you. So let's just get started. The first thing I want to share are these really cool carved elephant bookends. So they're really cool because they still have the tusks on them, and usually with vintage items like this, that's what goes missing first. I was able to actually find some information on these. I really thought that they could have been made in Africa or India, so I found out that they were actually made in India, and somebody had a pair listed exactly like these for $285. I think that's a little excessive. They are vintage, but probably from the 70s, I would say, maybe the 60s, but I'm going to say the 70s. So I won't price them that high because I saw other similar bookends and they were more around the 45 to 75 range. I'm going to mark them at 75, mainly because they still have their tusks. So anyways, super cool, very vintage, made of solid wood. So they're all carved from one piece. Each one is carved from one piece of wood. So when I saw them, I was pretty excited. I thought they were very unusual, and you know that's what I go for. The next piece I want to show you, or the next item I want to show you, is this bolt of fabric, or I'm sorry, like fabric remnant, except that it's actually 7.5 yards. And the reason I purchased it, I got it for $7.99. It still has the original tag on it where somebody had purchased it, and that's why I know it's 7.5 yards. But I love this bright retro vintage flowery design. At first I thought maybe it wasn't old, but looking at it, I think it actually is, mainly because the tag looks like it's straight out of the 70s. So the reason I love textiles is, number one, I love textiles, but other people do too. So textiles actually do really well for us on Etsy. So that 7.5 yards, that's quite a bit of fabric. You could do a whole chair. It's a heavy duty material too, like upholstery material. So I could see that actually recovering some like cushions for some outdoor patio, vintage patio chairs. You can do dining room seats with it. So I will probably price that 7.5 yards at about $55, which I think is very fair. Okay, up next is this cute little vintage needlepoint pillow. I don't know how vintage it actually is because the back is made out of corduroy, but it's really sweet. I think it's perfect for those people that love kind of that romantic granny chic vibe, or people that are very traditionalist, mainly because the needlepoint is in wonderful condition. And this takes a lot of work to do needlepoint. My sister's actually doing needlepoint right now, and it is very painstaking work. Not something I could possibly ever get into, but I appreciate the craftsmanship. So this little pillow I will probably price at $20. And I may take it to the store because unusual pillows actually do really well, but I may put it up on Etsy as well. So I love this little guy. See him? He is a crane, and originally I thought maybe somebody had spray painted or hand painted part of him black and left some of the brass, because underneath it is brass. But come to find out, they actually made in the 60s and 70s, they made sets of these, and they were either all brass or they were black and brass. So he's actually supposed to be part of a set, and so this is the standing heron, and then the second one had his wings outstretched. And they're not super valuable. They run about $35 to $55 for the set. So I'll probably mark him, I think, at $18, mostly because, you know, I don't run across these very often. And I think even as a single, I think he would make a great addition to a bookcase or a console table. So anyway, super cute. And let's go on to the next one. We're gonna cover some candlesticks. I don't know why, but I feel like this whole month has been kind of a candlestick month. So today I have a set of these frosted tulip candlesticks. And I think, well, number one, they're really pretty, but to me, they have a very kind of post Art Deco look to them. They're almost very stylized. And so I did find a couple online. They weren't valued very highly, but I think they would add just a great touch to any space. So I'm gonna mark these at $35. And I may take them to the store, but I will definitely post them on Etsy as well. And then along that same line of candles, let me show you the next pair. These beautiful green marble candle holders. So these have a bigger hole, so they're probably more for votives or like pillar candles. These are actually Italian. Whenever you see marble pieces, the odds are that it was probably made in Italy. They produce so much marble in so many different variations. So much so that that's why so many of their buildings and you know, old houses have marble floors, marble walls. It's crazy how much they use marble to this day in their homes. And the reason I know these are vintage is because they have that green felt. A lot of times when you see this green felt, to me, it just kind of always gives me the indication that it's an older piece, especially if the felt is worn. So, I mean, how much older? I don't know. They're probably from the 70s. Again, people think that's old. I don't know. I feel like that's not that old. So they're vintage, but not antique, but very lovely. I think they're great. I think somebody else is going to think they're great. And I will probably price these at $65. All right. Last but not least, for the candlesticks. This is amazing. So this is very like postmodern, and I can't wait to style it. So I couldn't find anything exactly like this. I did find something similar, and they wanted $485 for it. I think this makes a great kind of dupe for that more expensive, more elevated piece. But I would never price this at $485. I think if I put $65 or $75, I think that would be pretty high. Or at least I think it would be reasonable. But it's just for those people that love kind of that mid-century modern look or postmodern look, it's really a great piece. So these beauties, if you can see, it's really lovely. The frame is lovely. The subject is lovely. Here's the second one. This one has damage, so I may wind up keeping her. But these were actually made for a king of Germany. And it was called the Gallery of Beauties. So he actually hired a very famous painter to paint 36 beauties, not just wealthy royalty, but beauties from all stratas of society from different countries. And these two young ladies wound up on that gallery wall. And so they are really wonderful. This one will probably just go straight to the store, and it's, you know, obviously it's just a copy of a painting, but I think I would probably put $20 on her. It's not a huge piece, but it's very whimsical, very charming, and I personally love it. So the one that's damaged is going to stay with me. I actually have a gallery wall that has all girls and little girls and women, and it's a pretty cool wall, so I think it's going to be a good addition to my own gallery. Next up is a frame. So this frame, if you can see, it's mixed metal, so it's got this brass and kind of an arc, and then it's got silver. So this frame is straight 80s, so it is considered vintage now. And the reason I really like it is in the 80s, people were really into Art Deco. So like now people are really into mid-century and the boho look, which was really out of the 70s. In the 80s, people were really into Art Deco, which is the genre that developed in the 1930s and 1940s, where you had a lot of geometric lines, lots of black, lots of silver, lots of gold. It was a very shape obsessed time. Everything was very distinct. And so I'll put a couple pictures up above so you can kind of see what that style is. But in the 70s and 80s, a lot of the decor items mimicked that Art Deco design. And so when I saw this frame, I had to buy it. Maybe Art Deco isn't totally back in, but there are people that are starting to get into that postmodern look, and that falls right into that category. So I will post this frame on Etsy, and I will put $25 on it. And I think whoever gets it has plenty of style, let me tell you. Okay, let's move on. All right. So let me show you these if I can, because there's 4 of them. So these are a set of prints, and they have birds on them. They're in trees, and they're in a very Asian style, very Japanese. That's what I'm going to say, is they're probably, they were probably made in Japan. For those of you who are not familiar, I'm located in Washington State, and we're considered part of the Pacific Rim, which means that we have a lot of association with Asia in many different ways, but we have a lot of people who, you know, have come here have immigrated from Japan, from China. And so they brought with them a lot of art from Asia. So Asian art and Asian artifacts and Asian decor is really plentiful in the Northwest. I run into it very often. I wish I knew more about it because some of it is just so beautiful, so detailed, right? So these particular ones, I'm going to price at probably $75, and I probably will take them straight to the store, mainly because I hate shipping anything that's glass that could possibly break. So I'm a little afraid to ship 4 of them, you know, with these, with the glass on them like this. I guess if somebody really wanted them and they would do well, I would post them on Etsy. But I think for now, we sell so much art at Abigail's Artful Abode that I think somebody will snatch those up pretty quickly. All right, let's go on to our next item. Oh, I cannot wait to show you this. Let's go take a look. All right. This I have been looking for months and months and months. I've missed out multiple times on sets. I only found one, and it's probably not the best version, but let me show you this chair. It's all about the rattan on the back and these cantilevered legs. So this is not a Brewer Seska chair, but it is a probably, you know, it's a dupe of a Brewer Seska chair. So Brewer Seska, actually Brewer was an architect in the early 1900s, and he developed this chair called Seska, and Seska was short for Francesca, who was his stepdaughter, who he loved very much. It became mass produced, and it is still highly sought after. Occasionally I run into Seska chair sets or dupes of chair sets online, but they go super fast. I think it's just so cool. I'm gonna switch out that seat. I may paint the gold so that it looks nicer. And you know, honestly, this is just motivating me to work a little harder to find an actual set that's in good shape, that's of high quality. But anyways, Seska chairs, if you ever see these, snatch them up because they're very valuable. One chair can easily go from anywhere between $250 to $750 online. Okay, let's go take a look. I have something else to show you. It was such a find. I couldn't believe what I paid for them. So come on, let's go. These wonderful, wonderful candlesticks. They're really tall, and these were made also in India. And to me, they look like altar candelabras, but they're not. I found them online, and they range anywhere between $365 up as high as $650. I priced them for $350 on Etsy, but I actually really scored. See, this is what happens when you're always on the hunt. So I got these for $7.99 a piece, and I just couldn't believe my luck. I was so thrilled. It was an exciting day. Okay, last but not least, I want to show you again the same day that I found those tall candlesticks, I found this set, and they were sitting right by the front door, and I walked in and I said, I want them both, put my name on them. So here they are. Take a look. Here's another marble piece that was made in Italy. And so I couldn't believe that there was actually 2 of these. So this is supposed to resemble like a tree.
and I only found one online. It had already sold on eBay for $285, and that was just for one. And I actually got 2 of these. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna mark them at I don't know, $275 for the set, and we'll see how they do.
So that's it for this week. I hope you were excited about some of these finds as much as I was. I'm off on the road again tomorrow and Friday, and I'm excited because you know, you just never know what you're gonna find when you go out treasure hunting. So join me next week for my next haul, and don't forget to come visit us if you're ever in Poulsbo, Washington. Our store is right downtown, Abigail's Artful Abode. And of course, we list a lot of items on Etsy, and now I'm using a cross-posting website. So we also have stuff on Poshmark and Mercari and eBay. So anyways, I will see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye.